got the Motorola gear, VHF gear, back from the dead. This is a Motorola Radius P1225 or 1225, 16-channel VHF handheld FM. This is a Motorola MTS2000, 48-channel handheld VHF FM. It's got that nifty display up there. Even comes with a backlight. Fancy. So ABC on this is the different zones. So 16 channels, 16 channels, 16 channels. It does have scan, but pretty good receive. The receive is real tight on these radios. You know, folks might say, why do you hang on to this old gear? You have modern bow fangs and etc. And there's a couple reasons why this stuff is useful, especially for an emergency preparedness type person or a prepper or whatever you want to call them. You know, the receive on these things is a lot tighter. It handles intermod a lot better, but there's something else I wanted to show you, and that was the why we have the field strength meter here. So we've got the radius. This is on MURS channel 5. There's a monitor receiver that you can't see. Whoops, that radio's on. Radio check, 1 2 1 2. Radio check, radio check. Radio check, 1 2 1 2. Radio check. And that's with the radio held up to my face. If I hold it right here, it's obviously gonna do that. Hello, 1 2 1 2. So I want to take a look at the antennas on these things. The radius is kind of interesting. Look at that antenna connector. That's just solid. So we have a fancy aftermarket antenna. This guy. Same connector. Holding the radio in the same spot, like you would if you were talking into it. Audio check, radio check. Hello, 1 2 1 2. Radio check, 1 2 1 2. Alright, that's with the antenna vertically polarized. Horizontal, and I'm moving it back up to vertical. Look at the difference in the field strength. Obviously, the field strength antenna is vertical as well, so it just shows you how important polarization is. Hello, radio check, 1 2 3 4 5. Radio check. Hello. And again, this is on MURS 5, where wideband deviation is still permitted per FCC rules. Not that anybody really cares. Seems like most preppers and whatnot leave their radios on wide for everything, or leave them on narrow for everything. But technically speaking, only MURS 4 and 5, and of course the amateur frequencies, should be on wide. Everything else should be on narrow. Technically speaking. This is the Motorola MTS. I wanted to just look at the connectors on these things, because this is where things can get kind of crazy. One of these antennas is a Baofeng antenna. The other one is a Motorola antenna. Can you tell the difference? If you look very closely, you can. On these connectors, the Baofeng, which I guess is an SMA-F, you can see how it's actually recessed in there. This is the stock Motorola 800 megahertz antenna. It's not recessed in there, so these look like they would be compatible, but they're really not. If you were to put this antenna into a Baofeng radio, the antenna would actually sit out of the connector. It would not be flush. So this seems like a minor thing, but it's actually very important. So what we have here is a Smiley antenna adapter for the correct Motorola type SMA. So we're going to unscrew this. again. Notice the O-ring there, the rubber seal. Always important. And if I could just get this, oh my god. Hard to do it while you're holding the camera. So yeah, get that nice and tight on there. You want to flush seal with the radio like that. The same thing if you're doing it with an XTS, it's the same deal. So just to show you, this is the stock XTS 800 antenna. This is not a VHF XTS, it's an 800, 700, 800 XTS. But see, that's nice and flush on there. So we now have the smiley antenna on the MTS. So let's do the same test. Make sure the radio is off or on. MURS 5. Hello, radio check. Hello, radio check. Radio check. Hello, radio check. That's kind of worrisome. Let's try something else here. In fact, let's go back to the stock antenna. This is the stock Motorola rubber duck for VHF. Wow, that's a world of a difference. Hello, radio check. Radio check, 1 2 1 2. Radio check, radio check. Hello. And then we're just going to do another comparison here. And this is again a Motorola VHF, the longer one. Radio check, hello, radio check, 1 2 1 2, radio check. Wow, it's pinning that needle right next to it. Hello, 1 2 1 2.